Hey everybody, hey parents, hey families. My name is Jacinda Scott and I work with CFS Saskatoon as a parent group facilitator and educator. I'm also a parent myself. I have two daughters, they're 16 and 19, and I live with my partner. I wanted to share some tips with you today all about connecting with our kids and our partner during this time of social distancing and during this time where we have spent, six plus weeks together within the four walls that we have around us. And there might be some, some challenges arising, some emotions coming up, irritabilities, as we don't have the space to be able to go and do our individual things that we're used to doing. And so also, this is a really fun family activity to do while we're socially isolating together and have a lot of fun with it. It's really a fun one. And so this is all about the love languages. And there is a book called The 5 Love Languages by Chapman. And you can go onto his website, 5lovelanguages.com, and you can take a look at his book. He has several other books in the series, and the books are downloadable and they can also be purchased on Amazon right now while we don't have bookstores open. And the quizzes as well. So to find out what your love language is on the website. And there's quizzes for adults, quizzes for teens, quizzes for children. And so this is a fun one to go and explore. So the 5 love languages are all about how communication is really key to relationships and to maintaining, sustaining, and building our relationships with each other. Is that communication, that important language that we need, and love is a language. And so I'm going to tell you about the 5 love languages, and I'm going to dive into detail a little bit about them as well. So the first one is words of affirmation. And so words of affirmation, as you would guess, is all about those positive affirmations that we receive from another person that loves us. So if this is your love language, this is about receiving encouragement, receiving praise and validation. So you like to hear, you know what, you're doing a great job, you're a really great parent, you are a caring friend, and you're a thoughtful partner. You're good at what you do. You're really talented. So these are the kinds of things that people with this love language really love to hear. And they get charged from it. They feel a sense of love. They also feel a sense of belonging. And they do feel a sense of confidence from receiving words of affirmation. This is a really big and common love language for a lot of people. The second one is acts of service. So acts of service is when someone that you love, someone that is important to you, does something special for you without you asking them or prompting them. So things like they go to the store, they take your car, they're going to run an errand, they notice your car is dirty, they take it through the car wash and bring it back home to you. And not something you ever asked for or that you expected of them, but they just thought, hey, oh, Jacinda's car needs to be washed. I'm going to take it through the car wash and bring it home to her. This is my love language. So I really do identify with those kinds of acts of service. One thing that I know about this love language is that when you have someone in your life that express love in this way to you, I feel like I have more space to free up for connection with that person. And so it's sort of like, you have this running to-do list in your head, which I do a lot of the times, and sometimes I feel overwhelmed by that, and I do have a hard time asking for help sometimes. And so when someone else just steps in and takes something off of that to-do list, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I can say, okay, oh my gosh, I have more time now today. What do you want to do? Or, I have more sort of mental capacity to connect with those around me when my to-do list is getting shorter. And so that's why acts of service is a really big one for me. And again, it is a common love language as well. All of these are. The third love language is receiving gifts. And so receiving gifts is all about, when someone expresses their love to you through a gift. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a monetary gift or an expensive gift, but it can be something meaningful like baking, someone bringing food to you, someone writing a card and leaving it in your mailbox, a letter, a note, things like that. It doesn't have to be anything big and elaborate and expensive, but it's just that person that's thinking about you when they're out or when they're at home or whatever it is, and they're like, you feel that thoughtfulness from them through gifts that they give you. This is definitely, I would say, my 16-year-old's love language. And the really interesting thing about love languages is we often give love in the way that we want to receive it. So she will often give me things, and that's her way of expressing love to me. Even though that's not my love language, that's hers, and I know that it's hers, and so I really appreciate it. So she'll often make me smoothies, she'll bake, she'll think of me when she's somewhere and she'll buy a little stone for me or something like that. And it's really special because I know that that's her love language, and I take those gifts as something super meaningful because of that. The other love language is quality time. So quality time is all about having someone that you love spend time with you where they are very present. So the quality piece is they're not distracted by their cell phone, not distracted by their to-do list, not distracted by their work day, or any other stuff that's going on in their head, but they're able to really be present with you and have quality conversation. So it could be anything like conversation about the day. How was your day? It could be meaningful and deep conversation that you really need to have. It can be anything from like 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day, every day, where you check in with that person, or you have that time together, whether it be going for a walk, cooking together, the bedtime Netflix show or conversation that you have, or whatever it is, all the way up to quality time with like, okay, I really need to like have some time away with this person and really connect with them. And so it can be a wide range of things. The fifth one is physical touch. So physical touch is definitely a big one for a lot of people. I would say that my daughter, my other daughter, is definitely a physical touch kid. And so things like, shoulder rubs, hugs, back scratches, just closeness, physical closeness, sitting close together while you're doing an activity, or homework or reading or watching TV or whatever it is. All of those things. The physical closeness is a really big one for her. And so when there's no physical closeness like that, there's definitely this sort of lack, this need to like, I definitely recognize when she's irritable and things like that she really just needs that physical touch, that physical closeness, to feel that connection again and to feel that sense of belonging, right? The beautiful thing about the love languages is that they do communicate needs. So when we know our own love language, we can communicate through that what our needs are. And we can also learn what our family's needs are, what our children's needs are, our partner's needs are, and also what they value and what we value. And the really important piece is that it's important that we learn to express love to that person in the way that they want to receive it, because it is natural for us to express it in the way that we want to, but shifting to expressing it the way they need, it's an interesting thing to try. And I encourage you to try it once you do take the quizzes. If you do decide to do that, try it out. Express your love in the way that that person wants to receive it, and see if there's a shift that happens in your connection or in being able to engage with them better, or just being able to really have that true quality relationship building time. An important thing to remember is that if we receive a negative experience of our love language, it can often be damaging or even detrimental. And so if you think about quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, if we're receiving the opposite, the negative version of that, so criticism for words of affirmation can be really, really damaging for someone that has that love language. Quality time, you know, if you're a busy parent, if you're really engrossed in, you know, your phone or work emails or whatever it is all the time, and you're just not like taking the time or feeling like you're able to take the time, noticing if your child's irritable, and it can cause a quite large disconnect. And so really paying attention to that. If you know that that is their love language, how can you make time for some quality time? Physical touch, obviously someone is physically you know, aggressive with you, or isn't gentle with their touch, or whatever it is for someone that has that love language, that can be damaging as well. So it's really interesting. It's good information to know. And this is a great time to kind of explore and dive into a new way of connecting when we are feeling like we don't have a lot of space from each other and we are having to learn to spend a lot of time together. And so how can we do it in a way where we do feel like we're still connected and that our relationships are still strong? So I encourage you to go on the website, take the quizzes, have fun with this, do this as a family activity. We're always looking for new ideas now to do with our families. And this is a fun one. You can have a lot of fun with this. You can do the quizzes together, you can find out what your love language is, and then you can have discussion about it. You can chat about it and laugh about it and really think of fun ways to utilize this new language. I will be back in a couple of weeks for some more tips. In the meantime, have a great day and stay safe out there.